Hey, Glenn. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in a few minutes. We'll let SJ do a quick, tell you what we're going to be doing and stuff. Hey, Dominic. SJ, why don't you go ahead and, seems like we've got about 20-ish or so people watching between Facebook and Zoom right now. So let's go ahead and let people know what we're doing.
All right, I think the easiest way is just if I just start sharing my screen and then I can talk to it.
Awesome.
So if you just let me know when you can see.
We can see it.
Green. Okay, good. So what we're going to be doing today then is showing you a couple of things that you can do to help the links on your website that go to external sites stand out and encourage users to click on those links. So that's job one. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to show you how to automatically suffix those links with a affiliate referral code if you have one. So for example, if you are an affiliate with Elegant Themes and you are using or linking to blogs or linking to pages on the Elegant Themes website, this trick will automatically suffix those links with your referral code so that you're never ever missing an opportunity to potentially be making some money from your website. There are plugins that will do that for you, or you could manually add the link in yourself. The issue with that is that if other users are adding content, i.e. through the comment section, or if you have a social element to your website, and then you can't force those users to add your referral link, whereas using this method you can. And it's also it's a catch-all solution. So some of the plugins that we've tested don't work in Divi Builder modules, for example. This will work everywhere and in every example. So you're absolutely never missing an opportunity to grab that referral payday. So yeah.
You just made my mind go like, pop, 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 pop. I want to know something, and I don't want to derail our topic for today, but I have a couple of questions. Will this technique work for, obviously you're just changing the URL, so I imagine you can just append anything. This won't only work for affiliate referrals, but if you have an e-commerce website, for example, and you want, you're doing some marketing on your website and you want to send people straight to the cart, which bypasses the product and adds it straight to the cart, you can put in a custom URL there and allow them to do that, for example. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody, for example, if you know all of your product page URLs, there's nothing to stop you using this technique to suffix that URL with the variable information that you need to push them straight into the cart or add that product to cart. This could be used to do exactly that. So yeah, it's a very good way, if you were going to use it that way, of shortening the steps between clicking on the product and purchasing the product, so
go ahead and quit sharing your screen. Let you and I talk to the audience real quick for a few minutes, and we'll get started with today's webinar. First of all, I want to say thank you everybody for joining us today. Obviously this is going to be a neat trick. SJ mentioned there are some plugins out there that will handle this functionality of what he's about to show you to, but the limitations that they have put on them by not allowing you to append URLs and automatically add in the Divi Builder, for example. I know there's a lot of issues. Thirsty Affiliates is one of those plugins. It will not work if you use the Divi Builder. So I'm already really looking forward to this webinar for my own personal reasons and stuff, and my head's exploding of marketing ideas that you can do with it and stuff. So SJ, I'm going to introduce myself, then I'm going to let you introduce yourself. For people who may not know me, my name is David Blackman with Divi Space and Aspen Grove Studios. I'm also the co-host of WP the Podcast and one of the panelists for Divi Chat. Love Divi. Divi has changed my life. Absolutely biggest Divi fan in the world, sitting over here on this side of the panel. I think they've done a great job. And that's enough for me. This guy needs no introduction, but I'm going to let him introduce himself anyways.
So thank you everybody for coming and watching this. My name is SJ James. I'm the founder of DiviSpace, and generally around the community and the Facebook pages and things like that, just helping out where I can. And currently moving into course creation, creating courses to help other developers build up their skills in CSS and jQuery. So,
well, here's what I want to say. He's being a little bit modest. I got to tell you, isn't SJ a great teacher? I mean, we've been doing these webinars for a little over a week, and I'm amazed at the response that we've gotten from, people who have attended the webinars about how easy he is to follow, how not technical they are. And he's taken some very technical things like jQuery and CSS and made it seem doable and stuff, because it is doable. Great teacher. Can't give you enough whoop whoop. I'll stop.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, without further ado, why don't we get this party started?
Let's do this. Right, share screen. Should be sharing now. If you just let me know when you can see it, David.
All right, give me a minute. It is coming up, and we can see it, SJ.
Okay. So what we're going to do then, I've written this very, very quick post, which is just to add some links into the content so you can see what we're going to do. In here, we've got a link to the DiviSpace Facebook page with a standard link alongside it. We're not going to style this, just so you can see what it normally looks like. And down here, we've got a link to Elegant Themes without any referral URL or anything attached to it. And we've also got a link that somebody, me, has added in a comment to show you how this works with content that hasn't been created by you. And what we're going to do is we're going to style these links to encourage the user to engage with them. So how we're going to do this, we're going to use jQuery to identify where a link is going. So if it's going to Facebook, we're going to style it one way. If it's going to Elegant Themes, we're going to style it another way. And if it's not going into anywhere special or anywhere that we feel we need to encourage the user to click, then we're just going to leave it as a standard link. So the first thing that we're going to do then is, if we go into our custom JS file. So at this point, just the same as all of the other tutorials that we've been doing, hopefully you've got a child theme set up that includes a custom JS file, a functions PHP file, and a style.css file. If you don't have a child theme and you would like one, then you can grab one off of the DiviSpace site via the child theme builder. And if you already have a child theme, a premium child theme, and you'd rather not add your own code to that, then everything that we're doing in jQuery can be added to the Divi integrations tag, in integrations tab in between script tags. And everything that we're doing in CSS can be added to the style, the custom CSS in the Divi theme options as well. So there's absolutely no requirement for you to have a child theme. It's just going to make it easier for you to follow along with these live webinars and tutorials that we're doing. So the first thing that I'm going to do then is I've got my document ready function created. Now, we've talked about this before, but essentially what a document ready function does is it ensures that the jQuery that we add in between its opening and closing tags doesn't run until the document is fully loaded, and therefore make sure that it runs properly. What it also does is, by using the shorthand jQuery symbol here, we are able to then use the $sign instead of writing jQuery every time we want to do something within this function, which is going to make our code cleaner. So the first thing that I'm going to do then is I'm going to create a variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that FB equals, and then I'm going to create a rule for that. So I'm just going to say I'll just write it out and then I'll explain exactly what it is afterwards. Okay, so what we've got here then is I've created a variable, and I've said for every link element that has a href of facebook.com, that becomes FB. So we can now use FB in our code instead of writing that out every time. We've got this asterisk here, which is a wildcard. So without that, our code would be looking for an exact match of facebook.com as the href. But with that, it just looks for the URL to include that. So that's how we want to use it, because obviously very rarely is someone just going to connect or link straight to facebook.com. They're going to be linking to a page or a profile or a post or a group or various other places. So now that we've done that, what we can do underneath is say like this. We're going to create a function
I don't know why I want to sing a song, The Function Junction, man.
Do it. Sing along. Make the.
I don't know if we might end up with no viewers if I start singing.
Make sure I'm getting this syntax right.
Corey says that I should sing solo that nobody can hear us.
So what we've done here then is we've created an each function. So what that's going to do is for everything inside here, it's going to run that code for each of whatever it is that we identify here. So before you've seen us add syntax is the same way we would for CSS. So you've seen us add classes like this if you've been following other webinars, and you've seen us add IDs like this. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually just do it with a variable. So we don't need the speech marks or anything like that. We can just go straight in and add our variable as it is like that. And then inside here, what we're going to do is we're going to say to add class, and then we're just going to, just to keep it simple, I'm going to add the same class as we as our variable. So for every time it finds every time it finds a link that has a Facebook href or links to a Facebook page, it's going to add the class to that link of FB. So if we just save that now and go to our front, refresh this page, if we click and inspect this element, you can see here in the code that that now has a class of FB. So now we know that anything that has the class of FB is a link that's going directly to a Facebook page. So we can start to style that so that it stands out to our end users. So what we're going to do is we're going to open Starbot. If you don't have Starbot installed, all we're doing with Starbot is seeing a live preview of the CSS that we're writing. If you don't have Starbot, don't worry, you could do the exact same thing in the theme customizer and it will work just as well. But what we're essentially going to do now is we're going to style our Facebook class. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to display it as inline block so that it doesn't break in random places. We're going to give it a position of relative, and I'll explain why in a little while. we're going to give it a custom background color. So I've gone away and looked up what the custom background color for Facebook icons is, or for the Facebook icon. So I can just add that in, and you can see here now that we're starting to get some changes happening. So I'm just going to give it a color of white, and then I'm going to give it some custom padding. So for padding, I'm just going to give it 1 pixel and 10 pixels. So when we use padding, if we're using 2 units, if we used 1 unit, it would just apply 1 pixel of padding the whole way round. If we use 2 units, then it applies the first to the top and the bottom, and then the second to the left and the right. And if we used 4 units, then it would apply the first one to the top, the second one to the right, the third one to the bottom, and the fourth one to the left. So we can start to design our button a little bit different. So because I'm going to add an icon for Facebook in front of this link, I'm just going to give it some space. So I'm going to increase the amount of padding I've got there on the left-hand side. And then just to finish off that, I'm going to give it a border radius of 4 pixels. So you can see that already that's started to turn what was a fairly boring link into something that looks like a button now. It's inviting me in to click on it. So I'm going to increase interaction with my external links. So the next thing that I'm going to do then is I'm going to create a Facebook icon, and I'm going to use the icons that are built into Divi to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, again, I'm going to grab the class that we want to target, but this time I'm going to create a before pseudo element, and then I'm going to, if we remember, we can find out these are the types of icons that are being used. So if I just hover over that, you can see the font family that's being used is ET modules, and then there's different content codes that are being used. If we go onto the Elegant Themes website, there is a blog in the resources section called Elegant Icon Font, and that will show you all of the different font codes for the various elements. So what I'm looking for here is the Facebook single F button. So it's there. So if I right click on that and then look at the before pseudo class on that, I can just straight away see what the content is for that item, and then I can save that and I can use it later. So all I'm going to do there then is grab the font family and the content and copy that straight in, and you can see there that the Facebook F has now been added in front of my link. We're just going to do some formatting for that then. So we're just going to position it absolute, and then we are going to pull it to the left and just make sure that it's correctly positioned from the top as well. And then I'm just going to adjust its font size. So if you include a font size property in here, then it's just going to inherit it from the parent, which is this item here. So if you do want to adjust its font size, you'll have to do it separately. So that's all we're going to do for styling. Now, I said earlier that I'd explain why I'm putting the position relative in here. If I took that out, you can see that our F icon disappears. Now it is still on the page, but it will be somewhere over here, because unless its parent has a position of relative, the absolute positioning will go to whichever the next element is that has a relative positioning, which means it's somewhere over here and no good to any of us. So if you ever have trouble finding where the icons that you're using when you absolutely position them, this is probably why. Make sure that the parent has a relative position. And that is our first button styled. So you can see we've gone from that to that. It's obviously going to encourage more engagement. And that's kind of the first thing that we want to show you. I don't know if there's any questions. Should I open up?
No questions. All we have is comments, SJ. Good stuff.
Okay, good.
And I think I might have titled this webinar wrong, because what you're talking about here is marketing overall, not just affiliate designing for affiliate marketing, but engagement is huge on a website, and having this ability to, turn your links into buttons like this it's kick ass, dude. I mean, yeah.
So I think we'll probably, the next part will be more kind of based towards people that are affiliate marketing and trying to increase engagement on affiliate links. But yeah, essentially, you could use this same effect for any number of websites, and it's just going to help increase that engagement. But by doing it for not just the links that you're affiliate linking, you're setting up a style guide essentially for your website. So everything that's externally linking is going to look and feel the same, and it's going to encourage users to trust those links and to click on them. So the next part, we're going to show you how you can make sure that you're never missing an opportunity to a potentially affiliate link rather than just a normal average link.
Just say it, SJ. Make money. Make money.
Money, money, money. Money. Yeah. So
he's singing.
That's the first part done. So let's just save that and close it. And now I want to go back to jQuery, because what we're going to do now is essentially very similar to what we've done so far, but we're going to do it for a link where we have an affiliate account with that website, and therefore we want to make sure that if anybody's including links on our website, we're getting paid for it. So the first thing that I'm going to do then is I'm going to use the same technique that we used to set a variable earlier on, and this time I'm going to call it ET, and I'm going to have it so if it ever finds links to elegant themes. And then I'm just going to do the same thing again. So I'm still going to go copy this stuff over, get that in there, and I'm going to change this from ET, from FB to ET, because it's going to refer to our new variable. And instead of adding the class FB, we're going to add the class ET, keep things nice and simple. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create some more variables that are going to help us change the href. So what we're going to do is our new variable, so we're just going to call it old href, which is going to be the old link that was used before we started adjusting it. And this variable is going to be made of the old href. So what we're essentially saying here is anytime this variable here is used, what we actually want to include is the href attribute of this item. So this is referring to whatever was used in your parent function. So here it's ET. We could just as easily copy that into there, but this is cleaner. We've used a variable to set that, and then here we are saying this referring to that. So we didn't have to use ET here either. We could have said this there like that, and we could have said this there like that, and it would work the same way. So it's just a way of making sure that your code stays clean, but also that it only refers to that item that you are trying to change. So because it says this, it will only ever apply to this item in any given function. So let's have a look at what else we can do. So we can here say, let's keep this simple. Yeah, okay. So we want to adjust that attribute ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this, again, referring to our ET variable. We're going to say href. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our old href variable here. So this is the current variable, the current href that's being used. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to use a plus sign, and then we are going to add whatever your referral link is. So let's just keep it nice and simple and just put new ref 123. So we're going to assume that that is your custom affiliate code on the ET website. So if we update that, then what we'll do, if we go to the front, you can see, I don't know if you can see into the bottom left-hand screen or the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, but when I now hover over an Elegant Themes link, it's adding that new attribute to the bottom. So if we look at the actual copy, the attribute hasn't been used, or the affiliate code hasn't been used. But when we look at it on the front end, the affiliate code has been used. Looking down into the comment then, another place that the Elegant Themes information has been used. Again, it's adding that new -ref 123 to the end of that link. So wherever anybody adds a link to a website where you could potentially be making money, now you are. This is going to work on blog pages. It's going to work in content on page builder pages. It's going to work absolutely everywhere. So, and it's going to work no matter who adds the content. So if you do have a social element to your website, or you get a lot of comments on posts, and you want to make sure that you're not missing potential opportunities for earning, then this is going to be the best way for you to do it. It's a catch-all solution. It doesn't require any custom coding on your end apart from what we're doing here. And it's going to work all together. Now, one other thing that I did want to show you is if you have, for example, one of the affiliate codes or something that requires that the URL end in a slash before you add your code, then you can use this next piece of code to ensure that the old URL ends in a slash before you add your referral link. So let me just show you how this works. So we're going to create another variable, and we're going to call this one slash. And we're going to do the same thing again. So we're just going to write some jQuery. Target the href. Going to use this again because we're still referring to this variable here. And on the end of this, we're going to use substring to find the last letter of that URL. So what we can then do is we've now set a variable for the last letter of whatever the old URL is. So now we can say if and I'll explain how this works just after I've written it. And again, this is good practice for using if-else statements, which are a wonderful way of making some pretty cool things happen in jQuery. So I'll just explain what this does then. So what we've done, we've set another variable here called slash. And again, we're looking at the href of our ET variable. And we're looking at the last letter of that href. And what we're saying is that if that last letter is not equal to a forward slash, i.e. it doesn't end in a forward slash, then the new slash variable should equal a slash. If it already ends in a slash, so if it does not equal that, or if it does equal that, then new slash is equal to nothing. So it doesn't add anything. It only adds a forward slash if it's needing. So what we can now do is we can chuck that into our code like that, and we can add new slash there. So what we're doing now is our new href is going to be equal to the old one plus a forward slash if it needs one, plus whatever the reference or affiliate link is that we need to add. So if we update that now, and I'll show you that on the front end. And again, it depends on the affiliate software you're using and kind of the plugin or whatever that you're using to create your affiliate links. But yeah, so if we hover over that now, you can see that that's got the slash and then new ref there. If I take that off of the Elegant Themes link and update, and we view that post, you can see that in the bottom left-hand corner, that forward slash is still there. So where it didn't exist, our code has added it to make sure that our reference and our affiliate links are still working. So now we've got the jQuery down, we can very, very quickly create some custom CSS for the Elegant Themes link so it stands out too. So all we're going to do is we're going to copy this and we're going to replace our selectors with the new ones. We're going to adjust the code for the color. This can be whatever you need it to be. We're going to change the content into the asterisk that Elegant Theme use on their site. And we're going to strip out the font family ET modules because we're not actually using a font icon now. We're just using a standard piece of text. So let's bump up the sizing on this. That might be too big. That looks good. And then I'm just going to grab the pink that they use on their site because I think that looks quite cool. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to put that in as the color over here and then adjust ever so slightly the CSS on those items. So very, very quickly, we've dynamically added our referral links into any links that are on our site. The same thing is happening in the links here. And what you can see here is that it's even attached it to the Elegant Themes link in our footer and has added the reference code there. So if you wanted to stop it doing that, then you could just target the body of content rather than your footer and your header. So if we inspect again, we can see that this area here is called ET main area. Let's have a look and see if the footer falls into that area. So we've got the main content ID here. It doesn't seem to include the header or the footer, so we can use that and can prefix our selector with that ID, and then our code is only going to affect the main content of our website rather than the footer as well. So there you can see very, very, what's that? What time are we on, David?
Oh, God. Let's see here. We did that in, I have no idea.
So, I mean, we're talking
less than 30 minutes. You styled this, and we started late, probably about 10 after or 5 after. So roughly 30 minutes, you did this. I mean, and this is pretty damn awesome.
And there's no, you can create a different rule for each website that you use. So if you are, for example, if you're running a WordPress blog and you're regularly linking to third-party products like form plugins and sliders and things like that, then using this technique, you're going to increase the amount of money that you're making through those affiliate referrals. Absolutely. If not just for the fact that you're ensuring that you're never missing an opportunity to link, you're also making your links so much more attractive for the end user to then go away and use.
Wow. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic, SJ. If you're not telling your friends to come join these webinars that we've been doing this past week, we've been trying them out to see if if there's an interest out there, and there definitely seems to be, because we have anywhere from 20 to 50 people watching live each week, each time we do one. My flub for today's episode, because I forgot to include the links to the Zoom webinar and stuff. So somebody has a quick question. Will this have a negative effect on SEO by adding the affiliate tag after the fact?
It will have no effect whatsoever, because essentially, what's the best way to explain this? The browser is pulling information from all different places when it compiles any web page. So it's pulling information from the theme CSS files and jQuery files. It's pulling information from the header and the footer files, as well as the body content. It's pulling information from the database on your posts. So all the SEO and things like that are coming from the finished page, and it's looking for the information that's being given to the user on the finished page. So it's no different to having the code written in there as if in the content. It's no different in any other way. There's no negative impact on using jQuery to make things happen. Most browsers expect that people are using jQuery to make certain things happen. It's just the same as if you'd have written it in the code. It won't affect you at all.
Awesome. Well, I don't know if we're done there, SJ, but if we're done with the tutorial part, why don't we quit sharing the screen, talk for a quick minute. I do want to give a couple of quick shout outs. If you don't know, Tuesdays we do Divi Chat live. I'm going to do a shout out because today might be somewhat interesting. We're going to talk about Elegant Themes' new release 3.1. Kind of give our initial thoughts on it and stuff. Obviously, we haven't dug too deep in. I do want to say that Elegant Themes is moving in the right direction by releasing the developer docs and stuff. And I imagine, or at least I hope, fingers crossed, Nick, if you're watching, please do this. Us as third-party developers, they support us 100% completely, which is awesome. But what the end users may or may not know, we don't get the releases early to test the products and do all the things that we need to do to make it compatible when ET makes a major release like 3.1, which impacted the Visual Builder and stuff and the way that modules, you know, worked with the Visual Builder for third-party modules anyway. So be patient. There's a lot of third-party developers out there. Give them an opportunity to catch their breath for the next week, to update their products and to make sure that it's fully 100% compatible with, you know, the new 3.1 release. That's my PSA and my plea as our developers, SJ being one of them. Several others are working frantically to get everything going. Divi Chat will be starting in about an hour and 15 minutes. We do that over on YouTube. So you want to join us and come watch us, engage with us, tell everybody hi, come on over. And last but not least, SJ is releasing Transforming Divi with CSS and jQuery course, which opens, it's launched already. You can purchase it currently with an early bird special discount of 20% using the coupon Transforming20. This course is amazing. If you see the way that he is teaching this, you want to take your CSS jQuery skills, or you just want to learn jQuery, heck, you know, come on over, join us. We've had about 100 people sign up in the last few days. So I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And obviously, SJ is a great teacher, because I sat there just watching you do this like, crap, I can do this, man. I end up leaving the webinars thinking, I can write jQuery, no problem. You know, it's
and that's exactly the point of this. It was to kind of, I mean, there obviously are other courses that you can go and do online that are relevant to jQuery and CSS, but they don't tend to be written for Divi. Whereas this is, if you're used to using Divi, then that's already one roadblock out of the way. Then you can just concentrate on learning the code. So that's why we've done it this way.
Yeah, and I'm going to answer Michael's question. He's asking about the code, copy pastable code implemented that you used. Yes, Michael, we release a recap blog post posted over on divi.space. We put the code in there. SJ just dropped it in the Zoom link. He drops it in Facebook, but we also will put it on all the other. We upload these videos for replay on YouTube and Vimeo, and so we try to, you know, accommodate all of our watchers and viewers and stuff and customers. So yes, hope that helps. All right, SJ, I think we're good. We got to go get ready for Divi Chat here in a little bit.
Just a last quick thank you to everybody that joined. I can see there's lots of comments on Zoom and stuff, so I'll go and read through, and if there's anything that I feel needs to get added to the blog post, then I'll do that. But again, thank you to everybody for coming along and watching. Makes it all worthwhile.
Hey man, SJ, thank you for another awesome webinar.
You are very welcome.
All right, folks, we will see you on Thursday, I believe, for the next webinar. Go over to our events, Divi Space page, sign up for Thursday's webinar. Do we know what it is yet, SJ? 3.1? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I think we're going to do a deep dive into 3.1 update. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you want to learn about it, come join us on Thursday. Till then, we'll see you. I'm going to stop the live stream. Bye. All right.